Is the problem that climate change is altering our world, or that most American adults weren't taught as a child the difference between weather and witchcraft? We don't know either, so the children of Nomadistan have graciously created the Little Climate Book for big, important, and confused people, because we take pride in caring for our elders, even when they're loud, wrong, and chairing a Senate Energy Committee. Now, we admire the resilience of these aging climate change deniers. These are folks who survived rotary phones, disco, and low-flow shower heads. They remember a time when climate was just fine, and if it rained frogs, well, that was just a Tuesday. But as ocean levels rise and much of the U.S. begins to resemble the inside of a convection oven, we've noticed a curious pattern. Many of your senior citizens, and let's be honest, several elected officials under the IQ of 90, which is most of them, still don't understand how climate change works. Or worse, they do, but they find ignorance much more profitable. So in the spirit of intergenerational compassion, and because we're tired of explaining this every Thanksgiving, the children of Nomadistan have stepped in. This illustrated masterpiece includes chapters such as "The sky isn't supposed to taste like barbecue," and "You can't breathe the air if you remove all of the trees." And in a wonderful display of cross-border gifting, our children have printed the book in American English and shipped it across the planet, ecologically, where it will hopefully find adults, politicians, and other ne'er-do-wells who can read and understand simple grammar. Let us read from the good book, chapters 1 and 2.
Hello, important reader. Let's start with something you already know. The sun is very, very hot, and you shouldn't touch it. Yes, even in winter, and even in Minnesota. The sun makes the earth warm so plants can grow. Lakes don't freeze forever, and people in Florida can continue living in total denial. But guess what? When humans put too much CO2 into the sky, by burning old dead things like oil, gas, and dinosaur juice, the air traps too much heat. That's called climate change. It's kind of like when Grandpa wraps himself in 3 electric blankets, turns the heater to 92, and then says, "It's getting warm in here." Yes, Grandpa, it is warm in here. Do you know the difference between weather and climate? Weather is when it rains on your barbecue. Climate is why it now rains on every barbecue, everywhere, all of the time. Weather is your mood. Climate is your personality, and right now the planet's personality is cranky, sweaty, and vaguely apocalyptic. So when it snows in Alabama and someone yells, "Where's your climate change now?" that's like standing in a puddle and yelling, "The ocean doesn't exist." Here's a big smart thought of the day. Just because you don't understand science doesn't mean it's not happening. That's what science is. Stuff that's true even when you didn't major in it. Also, the Earth is not flat. We checked several times. Chapter 2, some stuff just runs out, and some stuff doesn't. Congratulations, reader. You made it to Chapter 2 without getting distracted by cable news or a golf sale. We're very proud of you. Now let's learn about resources. A resource is something we use to power our lives, like sunlight, wind, or the dinosaur goo we call oil. But not hope. Hope doesn't keep your lights on, no matter how loudly you post about freedom. Now, there are 2 kinds of resources, the kind that go away when you use them and the kind that don't. It's very simple. Imagine eating your lunch. If your sandwich disappears forever, that's a non-renewable sandwich. If it magically refills itself every day at noon, that's renewable. And we highly recommend you invest in that technology immediately. Oil, coal, and gas are the disappearing kind. We call them fossil fuels because they come from really old dead stuff that got squished underground for millions of years. And once we burn them, they're gone. Poof! And while they're disappearing, they're also causing quite a mess, like heating the planet, filling the sky with smoke, and convincing lawmakers that science is just a liberal prank. Sunlight, wind, and water, on the other hand, are polite. They show up every day, they don't send bills, and they never ask for campaign donations. They don't make the sky taste like burnt barbecue, and they don't spill all over wetlands during a poorly supervised pipeline installation. They're clean, renewable, and ready to go, just like the facts you keep ignoring. So why aren't we using them more? That's the best question you've asked all day. The answer is simple. Mr. Oilman and Mrs. Cole have multiple mortgages to maintain. You see, it's very expensive to own 4 homes, 2 private jets, and a yacht named Subsidy. Switching to clean energy might help the planet, but it won't help them afford their 3rd hot tub shaped like Ronald Reagan's head. So we all just keep using the dirty stuff. Not because it's better, but because it's profitable. And that's how grown-ups sometimes choose money over breathable air. We know it's confusing. That's why we wrote this book.
The children of Nomadistan created many more chapters just waiting to be read by climate-curious grown-ups, confused lawmakers, and wealthy fossil fuel executives with bedtime anxiety. In these other chapters, they explore amazing topics like why the ocean is eating Florida, trees are nature's free air filters, so stop cutting them down, and the ever-popular how to tell the difference between a snowstorm and a scientific argument. We at the Nomadistan News Desk believe that even the most stubborn adult, with a little patience and a lot of colorful illustrations, can learn new things, like how to recycle, or how not to run for office if they still think wind turbines cause cancer. So please, dear grown-ups, take your time, sound out the big words, reread the parts that you didn't like, and remember, just because climate change is complicated doesn't mean it isn't happening. The planet doesn't care how old you are, how rich you are, or how many talking points you memorize from cable news. It only cares if you're listening. Now go outside and take a deep breath while you still can. I'm Mirov, and this has been the Nomadistan People's News. We now bring you a new segment called Counterpoint from our sister station somewhere in the southern United States. Well, hey, y'all. Welcome to The Real Point. I'm Buck Harrington here to give all of y'all the real rundown from an American point of view, which, let's be real, it's the only one worth considering. Now, folks, I just sat through that so-called climate report from the Nomadistan News Desk, and I gotta say, I've never been more disrespected and insulted. They claim the sun is hot. Well, okay, thanks, science. I figured that out when my neck burned red after a beer run. But now they want me to believe that me grilling a ribeye is responsible for melting the ice caps? What's next? Asparagus causes earthquakes? Let me explain climate change the way God and NASCAR intended. Climate is when it's hot. Weather is when it's cold. That snow in Texas, that's God telling us to drill harder and to do something about them. And let's talk about carbon dioxide. Do you know what else releases CO2? Breathing. So unless these liberal children want me to stop breathing, which I wouldn't put past them, then maybe they should back off my pickup truck and let the free market warm the planet in peace. Now, they say oil is dinosaur juice. First of all, you're welcome, because I love dinosaurs. And second, if oil is so bad, why did God bury it right where Texas would find it? Riddle me that, Greta. They say wind and sunlight are clean. Have you ever seen a solar panel? It's just a big shiny communist mirror. And wind turbines? Giant metal bird killers. You know who loves birds? Hunters. You know who hates hunters? That's right, libtards. Now, these Nomadistani kids, they want me to believe we're running out of oil. Well, let me tell you something, sweetheart. I've been hearing that since 1973, and guess what? I still drive a Ford F950 that gets 6 miles to the gallon and smells like Eagles. And don't even get me started on renewable energy. What am I supposed to do? Power my home with hope and tofu? Last time I checked, wind doesn't work when the air is calm, and sunshine doesn't work at night. Unlike coal, which works all the time, especially when you're nostalgic for black lung. They even said that oil executives have bedtime anxiety. First of all, real men don't sleep. We pass out, usually while watching reruns of Walker, Texas Ranger. So to all of the misguided children out there trying to educate us grown-ups, maybe spend a little less time writing picture books and a little more time learning how to gut a deer. And file your taxes without crying. Because in my America, we don't need colorful chapters to explain the weather. We just need grit, God, and a thermostat set to freedom. I'm Buck Harrington, and this has been The Real Point. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a backyard to light up because patriotism smells like charcoal. Hi, I'm Rick. I'm the founder of Nomadistan, the People's News. And I have to remember to say that because those of you on the podcast can't actually see me. And you probably don't realize that, well, I'm playing all of the parts in this fine satirical, whatever you want to call it. Okay, climate change. For once, I'm actually glad that everyone is starting to come together and stop trying to blame who caused it. For the longest time, that was the argument. Humans caused it. It's not. It's sunspots. It's this and that. I mean, honestly, if a car is getting ready to run you down, do you care who's in the driver's seat? You don't. You care about being run over. Period. End of discussion. Same with climate change. It doesn't matter who started it. Okay, that's a lie. It does, because we do kind of need to fix that. But in general, in order to sort of put up with what is causing, well, it's happening. I'm just kind of happy that we got both sides finally admitting that, yeah, the planet's warming up. Now if we can just get everyone to agree on what the hell to do about it. Okay, I am not going to get into all of the perils and the pitfalls and everything that is going to happen to us because the planet is warming up. But I do kind of want to make a point and tell you a story. I am from Miami. Now, we're used to hurricanes, we're used to bad weather, and just in the 12 years that I lived there, hurricane season has extended on both sides, and we no longer get category 1s or 2s, they're 5s. They were actually talking about making a higher number, 6, because they were just so freaking powerful. I did a lot of volunteer work after disasters down there, helping people clean up, dig out, recover. And those hurricanes are in fact intensified because of what's happening in the climate. It's not just about our grandchildren are going to feel it. I'm feeling it. People down there are feeling it. All around everywhere you have any kind of weather, climate-induced disaster, tornadoes, hurricanes, you name it. All of the floods that are happening all over the place, all of the firestorms that are ravaging. Now, it's a little late to stop it, but we can try to mitigate it, maybe. But at the very least, maybe we can all start to understand it, that we're seeing it in real life grow before our very eyes. Okay, look, I didn't write the article that started all of this, nor created this video to make fun of people. Okay, maybe just a little bit. And honestly, I don't care about the coal and the oil barons and how much shareholder value they provide or how much bonuses they derive for themselves. This is a problem that affects all of us. Every single last person on this planet. It all starts with education, my friends. So share this video, like, comment. It's all about the little things. That bus back there behind me. A large part of what we do is so that we can do some ecological friendly things like the solar panels and the water management and all the other little things that we do. We minimized our footprint. You don't have to be as drastic, but if we all just did a little bit and educated everybody, maybe it won't be so catastrophic. Not going to stop it. Too late for that. We spent too much time arguing over who was driving the bus. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting all that we do. Nomadistan, thanks you. We'll see you soon. Subscribe for more videos.
I won't stop.